excited. Okay, we're gonna kick it right off. So this is the first Nexus of the year, and if y'all heard at the team meeting last week, kind of the intention behind it is for us to like expand our thinking caps and come and really take away valuable information from this experience, okay? And the idea behind taking something away is bringing something. You also have to bring something, okay? Every time you join Nexus, and for everyone online, I'd love it if you come with a question because that will make this better. And even if it's not something I can address in the current one, I will maybe in another one, or maybe I'll do a video, or I need to provide you guys with value, and I don't know what that always is, right? Because my business probably looks drastically different than yours, right? And sometimes it looks exactly the same. It's all right. It's all good. So first and foremost, I know this one's going to be fun. And I don't mean that seriously. I'm going to challenge everyone here in person and online. And guys online, just speak up. You can talk. It doesn't have to be like where I see you raise your hand because I'm learning new technology here. Can we get the everybody spread out on here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if I wanted to, I can cast my screen if I want to. Okay. Same as the last one, right?
Absolutely.
No big deal. Okay. Tell me about the market. Pretend I'm a potential client. What do they always say? So tell me about the real estate market. Because we're just all experts, right? We are hardwired into the MLS. We have access to data in our brain. We don't even have to look it up on the computer, right? Isn't it the expectation of the consumer? Right. So tell me about the market. I know some of you online can answer that right off the cuff, but anyone in person want to tell me about the market?
I say it's sometimes I say it's interesting. Sometimes I say it's kind of wonky, but then I always ask, I go, oh, tell me why do you ask?
Good. Guess what, guys? Having an answer is better than not, period. So whatever it is, plan to be asked that question, right? So any of you online, do you have any phrases that you use? Something like, tell me why you ask. I'd love to share more information, but the market is broad and wide and deep and crazy, and I don't even know what to focus on. So tell me why you ask the question, so maybe I can hyper focus on and get down to business. Anything that y'all use? It's great, super interactive. I love it. I love presenting. I love talking in front of a room. I think even when I was like in first or second grade, they asked me what I wanted to do, and it was like be a public speaker because I'm super crazy. Because who in elementary school even knows that? I like it, but I do want this to be interactive. Okay, that's why I'm saying please bring something that you are pondering, wondering, even something as little as what do I say when people ask me, tell me about the market. Okay. I have my finger on the pulse of the market all the time, and I'm constantly looking for things to share with consumers because I get asked it all the time. I mean, literally doing this as long as I have. I've grown up in the business. My parents were licensed in the 80s. I was like, I don't know, 6 years old or something like that. I've been it. Literally everybody knows real estate and Alexis are kind of synonymous because that's just been my whole life. It just because that's my story doesn't mean you can't make it your story. You can. But you do it by equipping yourself with knowledge and I don't know, phrases like the market is insert the following. So if I were to tell you what I've been saying, because this is true for me, some people say it's slow. I never say it's slow, right? Because if they're asking, maybe they're interested in being part of the market, right? So I say, and you guys can use any of this, all of this, copy, rip off, and duplicate. I say it is crazy. This year has started off with a bang. I can't believe how busy I am right even at the first of the year. And you know what? This crazy weather that Minnesota has, I have no idea. I always talk about the weather when it comes to the market because we're Minnesotans. We talk about the weather. So you can be relatable right off the bat, right? Yeah, this crazy weather.
I had the same conversation. But I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing because that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, see, the point is, nothing's wrong. It's not wrong. So we've had unseasonably warm weather. We've had crazy cold front, whatever it is. And you know what? I want people to be encouraged by the market. Interest rates are really favorable right now. What does that even mean? I don't even have to tell them a number. They're favorable, right? Do you own? All you have to do is say a few quick things and then ask, do you own? Have you ever purchased a home before? And then why do you ask is a brilliant question, because you want to get to the depth of why are they asking about the market. I'll start talking about things like, we have seen such a crazy market in the last 5 years. And this stuff is real true, you guys. How many of you have been licensed a year or less? Between 2 and 5 years. Okay, and on the 2 and 5, okay. If you haven't been licensed more than 5 years, I would just like to welcome you all to real estate. Okay, we have entered real estate. If you were licensed around 5 years ago, we were experiencing a brand new market that we had never seen ever in the history. And the more you know about it, whether it's 0 to 1 year or 1 to 5 years, it's important you know what happened in our market, okay? And be able to speak to it, because you don't want to be the agent that gets asked the question, how long have you been licensed, right? Don't show your rookie status. Don't show your novice status. You guys, I've been licensed almost as long as I've been alive, and I still feel inadequate. Okay, so if you're feeling that way, welcome to the club. Okay, that is not abnormal. There is plenty of things that people throw at me where I'm like, what? I don't know. I mean, I guess I can figure it out, but gosh, just more I don't know. Okay, don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. It's actually really what happens in real estate. There is so much we need to know. So when we're talking about the last 5 years, I would say 2021 and beyond has been the craziest real estate market I think I've ever seen. There was a version of it back in the early 2000s. I won't touch on it, but I'm jumping all over the place. The thing I want to say is research what happened. Talk to other people that were in existence in the last 5 years selling real estate and ask them if they were in existence prior to 2021 and what it was like. I have a sneeze coming and it's just not something I want to do up here. Okay, so ask the question, learn. When you engage with your peers, you learn more about what other people have experienced. What do they have going on? So know what to ask your peers in the industry. And when I talk about how's the market, I say I appreciate this market more than I've appreciated the last 5 years. Does anyone want to ask a question? Want to ask me why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why is it more favorable?
It's more favorable to the consumer. I think sellers had it too easy, and I think buyers paid the price. And this is okay. Sellers had it too easy. Buyers paid the price. Buyers were paying way too much for houses. Yes, I'm going to say that, even though I'm a real estate agent. Guys, one thing I need you to know about our industry, why were real estate agents created?
Protect consumers.
Consumer advocates. We are consumer advocates. At the end of the day, the beginning of the day and the end of the day and all day long, we are consumer advocates. We are never just fighting for our client or our brokerage. We are fighting for the consumer and protecting the consumer. Okay? So when you're thinking about making difficult decisions or answering difficult questions or advising on difficult scenarios, you want to be thinking about being a consumer advocate. So when I say I like this market better, I think this is more fair, even, and equal across the board. I think sellers aren't walking away with oodles of money and having done nothing to prepare their home or even disclose the material facts that could affect the use and enjoyment of any future buyer of a home. And I'm really glad that buyers don't have to overpay, under-inspect, and be under-informed about the property that they're getting themselves into. I'm really happy about this market. I like that it's challenging. I like that there's negotiations. If you've never really been in negotiations, welcome to real estate, because here we go. You're going to be negotiating with everyone all the time. Sellers, buyers, other agents, everybody. We are in a land of negotiation now more than ever because homes are not selling in the same time frame they used to. Thank goodness. And that might, you literally could put a house on the market. They didn't even clean it. They barely even picked anything up and it would sell for $50,000 to $75,000 more than its list price. 2021, 22, 23. It was bonkers. I think I sold one house to a buyer in 2022. I literally couldn't bring myself to represent a buyer because I was so ethically challenged by what was happening. It's just not fair. These data points, this isn't storytelling. This is me giving you data points to talk about when people say, tell me about the market, right? And you should all be prepared to talk about how's the market better than ever. Interest rates are favorable. The negotiations are equal or equitable. You're able to come in and get a great house at a fair price and use data to support it. Yes, Joe.
Would you say that the market currently is shifting more towards a buyer's market?
Is the market shifting towards buyer market? Okay, the answer to every question is always it depends. Okay, it depends because are you talking about South Minneapolis, Edina? Are you talking about downtown Minneapolis? Are we talking about Elko New Market? Are we talking about Woodbury? It could be a buyer's market in some of those places, namely the city of Minneapolis. Okay, that is definitely a buyer's market. And there are sellers markets still existing in some pocket areas. I've got a buyer right now trying to find a property to tear down and rebuild in Edina, and it's not exactly a buyer's market, let me tell you that. Okay, these homes that are being torn down are being sold in the 600,000s, and there aren't very many of them, and people are door knocking to try to get those listings to tear them down. So what I'm saying is it universal ever one answer? No. Buyer's market, seller's market, it's more of a balanced market. So it depends is my first answer. Second answer is it's more of a balanced market, meaning it's fluctuating. If a crap house comes on the market at a super high price, it's going to be favorable to a buyer. I've written a couple offers recently for a buyer and the sellers are not reasonable. They're $400,000 houses. We've offered just $5,000 under list price and asking for the buyer to finance closing costs. Okay, let me just be real clear, guys. Sellers don't pay closing costs for buyers. Does everyone understand that? Sellers do not pay closing costs for buyers. I need that everyone to really digest that piece of information. Buyers finance in closing costs. They pay more for the home so they don't have to come up with money out of pocket to pay for their closing costs. Do you hear the difference in the semantics of what I'm saying? Yes? Okay, so you and your lenders do not want to set up buyers for failure to let them think that a seller just has a money tree in their backyard they're going to go pluck off of. And so here you go, here's your money for your closing costs. Sellers make less money on the net of the sale, right? Okay, going back to the original storyline. $400,000 coming in $5,000 low, so $395,000, and asking for 3% in finance closing costs, which is approximately $12,000. Is that a super awesome offer? No. But is the market that amazing and hot? No. Are we competing with anybody else? No. In a traditional market that we are currently in, traditional market, those offers are fair and reasonable. Fair and reasonable. And those sellers are like, nope. I'm like, good luck. Can't wait to see you reduce your price to $375 because those $5, $10, $15, $25,000 comes off those list price real quick. And guess what, you guys? This is also a market separate from what you tell a consumer. This is a market where the opportunity is for the talented agent to come in and take over listings that the original listing agent was not successful with. And what they were not successful with was, number one, selling the house. But number two, and more importantly, is having a difficult conversation with a seller to inform them what their home is actually worth and what it will actually sell for. So if you are going to practice anything, it's going to be having difficult conversations and preparing yourself to inform people of bad news. I have a listing appointment this afternoon. I know what they want for the house, and I'm going to be going there and giving them bad news. Because guess what? I do not buy listings. Do we all understand what that might mean?
Yeah.
We do not promise the list price just so we get the file. Because when you buy a listing, you're spending money with no guaranteed rate of return. I could go give them, let's say they want $650 for the house and it's worth $600. If I tell them it's worth $650 and I spend $1,000 or $2,000 on marketing, who's in the wrong? Me. You do not want to be more excited about a listing to overpromise and underdeliver. You want to underpromise and overdeliver. I've been having great conversations with sellers and I'm saying, I'm here to interpret the data, not tell you what you want to hear. And that's the kind of agent you want to work with. Yes.
You mentioned the market when it was crazy and
Yep.
you were overpaying. And right now I'm speaking to someone who needs to move and overpaid, and I've had to tell them that they may lose money.
Yep.
And they did not want to hear it, but they're thinking about it.
They have to, because they have to move, right? And here's the deal, you guys, you're not trying to talk people into moving just so you have business. You're here to tell people what the market can bear and what you can do for them in the time frame they're allowing you to do it. That's it. You are not here to tell them. And I will tell you, you will not oftentimes get them to tell you what they want for their house. Sellers aren't trying to give up that information because they think that you're going to use it and go, I'll list it for that. I just want to have an intelligent conversation. That's why I asked the question. But the reality is, if someone has to sell, you have to give them valuable data. And if you don't know how to do it, then you need to practice your CMAs, right? Practice. Pull preview houses and practice your CMAs. Okay, so what's going on in the market? You aren't necessarily, I haven't set my buyer up with the expectation that they're going to be able to under offer $17,000 off list price. That's not the expectation I've set, but it is my responsibility to write offers for them based on what they're willing to pay. We're going to start having some difficult conversations coming up to say, we're not just going to just throw like pasta at the wall and see if it sticks. Like why are we going to run around and write a bunch of offers and hope someone takes it? If you want a house, we should negotiate on it, see what we can get. You have to have some in-depth conversations with your people to understand where they're willing to go and if you think that's reasonable for the house. But that's a separate topic of conversation. So comparing yourself with how's the market? I think the market's great, but I have to be a real estate agent and always say that. Because are you going to be a good real estate agent if you say the market sucks? Ever? Nope, you're not. So in my opinion, I think the market's always great. Why is it great? All kinds of different reasons. Ask them the question, why do you ask? Is there a segment of the market you're interested in? What would you like to know about? I am blessed. I've worked in a lot of areas and a lot of markets and a lot of housing types and different development and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't mean I know off the top of my head what's going on in Minnetonka compared to Woodbury. Okay. And what's funny is I use laughter and humor to lighten things, okay, and make the conversation easier. So if someone were to be like, yeah, I live in Lake Elmo, like what's going on? I'd be like, the data feed is like broken right now. I'm going to have to go to my computer and check it out because I don't know exactly off the top of my head what's happening. But I do know, insert what you do know, right? The market's favorable, the market's good. So what's working in the marketplace? What's working to get clients? What's working for you to have business and have people to work with? Anybody online want to share? Not Robert. He just say it's a bunch of food. You know what? Like, right? I know. It's historical. And I am not picking on Robert because the best sense of humor, and I will pick on him because he can handle it and he will dish it back, no problem. But I just want you guys to know, online, if you're online, I would rather see your face stuffing food and I won't make fun of you than your picture or your name. Because I like seeing you and like interacting and knowing that you're there. I want to provide value in our Nexus. And I'm not necessarily always going to come with like a list of things to talk at you. I want it to be interactive. So, hi, Nikki. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hi, Kathy. Oh, hi, Loki. Oh, so fun.
Good afternoon.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I love this. I'm genuinely loving seeing their faces, right? And we feel like we're in a big room. Okay, so the last client that anybody was able to connect with, where did that client come from? You can go unmute and then talk. That's what happens when you're online. Hi, Shelly.
Hi, real life getting ready and listening to you, but I wanted to share my last client where it came from.
Go for it.
Asking my database.
Boom.
Boom.
By asking, who do you know? And you want to know what? That's not me, everybody. That's me in 2026 moving forward, and they're already under contract. So learn from all of us. Call your database.
Call your database. Okay, so when we talk about database, what is database also called? Sphere. Who is in your sphere of influence? Who's in your database?
Friends and coworkers, people you know.
People
Would
that
you
you know
say
and that know you.
people you're friends with on Facebook or social media would be considered kind of sphere, especially if they're interacting with
If you're
you?
interacting with them and they're interacting with you, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Sphere and database. Okay, so nobody should be a secret agent, right? I know it's like the biggest joke of real estate, never be a secret agent. And the reason we talk about it is you actually have to go out and ask people for business. Or if you're not going to do that, then you have to come from a place of value or contribution. Okay. So Shelly's example was awesome because she's reaching out saying, you know, who do you know? Who can I help? What I've been doing, my most recent, 5 people that I'm in contract with in some way, shape, or form. I was in their neighborhood. I sold them the house. And I know this, okay, so this might not track for everyone, but I sent them a text. I'm in your neighborhood. Just wanted to say hi. Your house looks great. That's it. I listed their house last week. Another one I sent a Christmas card to, and I wrote a little note on there. It's been forever. Hope the condo's, suiting your needs. And I have 3 pieces of business from that. You guys, it literally is that easy. So it's being intentional and coming from a place of care and contribution. Okay. So how many of you were around when we did the Traeger giveaway last year? Are we familiar with it?
Yep.
Everyone's kind of familiar? Okay, so basically our lender partners purchased a Traeger grill and a bunch of accessories and allowed everyone in the market center to participate in an opportunity to give it away, right? Understand the concept? This is a point of what's working, okay? Because I have 3 pieces of business from this Traeger grill giveaway. And all I did was I raised my hand and said yes, and then applied the smart plans, and business came from it. And it doesn't have to be people that worked with me before. These are just people that know me. But the point is, going back to the story, Traeger grill giveaway. And I have a different take on what successful marketing is. Okay. So this is an event. By the way, I think Traeger grills are crap. I don't like them. I don't think they're wonderful. I don't like smoking anything. And I literally am like, why do people eat this? It's dry. I can't figure it out, but it's just my own personal preference. Okay. But the point is you don't have to like it to do it, right? You don't have to stand behind it or be like, I'm an advocate for this product that I'm giving away. Traeger has a special name and kind of some notoriety. And so people are like, ooh, cool. I could not believe how many people are like, did I win? I'm like, you actually want one of those? I was like, I have one of my husband called me, he goes, are you giving away our Traeger? Because he knows I don't like it. It had nothing to do with that. Anyways, Traeger grill giveaway, accessories. And then our wonderful staff wrote promotional emails and information about what was happening, how you entered to win. Okay. And they created a Google Doc, and everyone that was interested filled their information out in the Google Doc. And then if you filled out the Google Doc, you got entered to win. And essentially, anybody in your database could have been entered because there was a smart plan created. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should know. Okay. So I shouldn't be talking over anything that I'm saying right now. You guys should all understand what I'm saying with the smart plan. It's in command. You can plug in anyone in command into the smart plan. And so emails went out, and you could do supplemental text messages. You could also post to social media. And essentially what happened was people submitted their entries, and we had, I don't know, 600 entries or something like that. A crazy number of people submitted their entry for this Traeger grill. I think of mine, I had like 50 or something like that, right? Like I wasn't even expecting any, but I got 50. It was great. I didn't even have to talk to anybody because there was this great Google form that everyone got to fill out. It was the most successful marketing event because I literally did not have to do anything or talk to anyone. And as much as I love standing in front of a room, you guys, I get exhausted because it looks like I'm an extrovert, but I'm not. Okay. I'm introverted. I like quiet time. I like no talking. And when you call me and you need a broker question answered, I would be like, hey, how can I help you? What's up? Go. Okay, good. Answered your question. Bye. I don't want to take more time and chit chat. It's not because I don't care about you or appreciate the opportunity to help you. It's that I value my time and I have boundaries. So I really loved this giveaway because I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to go anywhere, and I didn't really have to talk to anybody. And I only talked to the people that I really like that asked me if they won. And I was like, no, sorry, but thanks for entering. So the point of this event that was successful was I'm giving something away or I'm offering something. You don't really have to do much other than just let me know that you want it. And if you do, then you put this information in, and one person out of however many number won it, right? Hugely successful event because all it did was remind them that you're in real estate. And the purpose and the achievement of successful marketing is connecting with someone and reminding them you're in real estate. That's it. So you want to do as little as possible and spend as little as possible to have the most successful marketing. So doing and spending as little as possible comes from things like text messages. I think text messages to my people that I care about, which is literally everybody I've ever sold a house to or sold their house for them, or people that I've known, for the duration of history. And I reach out and I say nice things. I never reach out and talk about real estate, ever. Ever. I just reach out and I'm like, how are you? And you guys, in this day and age, where we are right now, are we not in the land of information overload? Right? So the best opportunity, in my opinion, and what is working for me, is literally a small reach out to let them know you care and you're thinking about them. And it's not, how are you? Okay? That's a big difference between how are you as a question and reaching out saying, I'm giving away this, or I was in your neighborhood showing a house, or you see what I'm saying? I have talked to Joe about this. He's always like, oh, hey, how are you? And I was like, I don't want to know the answer to that question. Please don't tell me how you are. But I'd like you to know I care about you and I'm reaching out to say hello and I'm wishing you well, or I'm thinking about the house, or did you ever get that remodel project done? Did you ever get I don't know, insert your life experiences with the people you know, right? Or if you're in, and this is where it comes in where I'd like interactions with you guys to say, like, the kind of database you have looks like this. How would you reach out to them? Let's say you have a younger database that most of them don't own real estate. Reach out and be like, oh my gosh, I heard about this really great investment opportunity in real estate. If you ever want to know more, let me know. Not even a, do you want to know more? Yes or no. It's a if you ever want to know more, let me know. But what are they reminded of? You and real estate, period. Coming from a place of value, sharing a piece of information, right? If you go to the gym a lot, you should wear something on your body that shows you're in real estate. If you go to the supermarket, you should have a jacket on that has something about real estate. And I'm sorry, you guys, I hate to inform you. I'm going to just bust everybody's idea here, but your logo is not important. Something like I sell houses is important. In an age of information overload, you expect people to understand, doesn't matter how long Beyondich Real Estate has been around. Me expecting anyone to know what that is? Beyondich Real Estate. It could be an investment firm. It could be a contractor firm. It could be so many things. Doesn't necessarily say I sell real estate. When I call on the phone, cold calling or warm calling, hi, this is Alexis. I'm a realtor. I do not say Alexis Beyondich with Keller Williams Select. You are required to say that at some point in the conversation, but I like to get to the point because, let me just try it on for size. Hi, this is Alexis Beyondich with Keller Williams Select. I'm calling today to see if you still are interested in selling your house. What? What? I don't even know if you're what? Alexis Beyondich with Keller Williams Select? And then the part about selling a house, what? My name is Alexis. Pause. I'm a realtor. Calling to see if you're still interested in selling your house. That's like an expired, right? And then they say, rah, rah, rah. Okay, just let me clarify. My last name is Beyondich, and I'm with Keller Williams Select. If you'd like to write it down, here you go. The point is, your last name and your brokerage is not what you lead with. You want to get straight to the point. So every message you send, every initiative, every marketing effort, short, sweet, and to the point. Short, sweet, and to the point. Lean into your passions, lean into your hobbies. If you like to cook, do cooking videos and talk about cooking in a really fun kitchen and how you can't wait to look at more kitchens with your buyers. Indirect messaging, right? I like dogs and I like gardening. I like to incorporate dogs and gardening into a lot of my marketing messages because I want to work with people that are like me because it makes things easier. We talk about similar things. Lean into your hobbies and passions. Any challenges from the group online with things you like to do or marketing efforts or ideas? Yes, go for it, Rick.
Alexis, I've my two most recent interviews have come as a result of monthly newsletters that I send to two specific farm groups, two different neighborhoods, as well as my for sale by owner list. And they called because they said, Rick, we've been getting these letters from you every month for the past 5 months. We'd like to know what our house is worth. In addition to that, my for sale by owner, I have a 25-second text video that I send, and I get more replies to a text video than I ever got by doing any phone calls. And thirdly, I send out probably 20 handwritten note cards every week. And if any of you are familiar with the Buffini process, I was part of that group for 3 years and became quite a note writing disciple. And I get much better responses to those efforts than I do anything else. Primarily because I don't want to make cold calls. And I just had to get over the fact that this is who I am. And I figured out how to do it.
What a just perfect tee up. I love it. So much content to just roll with here. I don't do open houses and I don't do cold calls. That's who I am. I can self-identify that that's who I am. I never have and I never will. I'm not good in those environments. The reason I don't like open houses, just to get real straight to the point, is because I don't like sitting in a retail environment waiting for someone to realize that I have value to offer. I'm not telling you that you guys shouldn't like open houses, but if you don't, you better find something else to replace that activity with. Okay? Rick's examples are excellent because he has a few things that are working well for him and he's hyper focused, right? Don't we all feel like we're drinking from a fire hose in this industry and all this information that's coming at us? If you walk away from every single class you attend with one thing, that was a successful class. That's all you should walk away from. You should not be walking away with 13 things you're going to go implement. Unrealistic, okay? First off, newsletters, love them. You can mail them with cha-ching, which you can do, okay? Not saying don't do it. You can also email them, less expensive, right? oftentimes people are like, how do I create a newsletter? Well, Command is a great resource. You can build newsletters in Command. You can also find an industry partner and have them build it. And if they don't want to, find a different industry partner. Do you know who the number one group of people in real estate that would love to build you a newsletter is? Inspectors. They want to provide you value and don't know how to do it. And I am not talking Marigold or Inspect a Home. Okay? I'm talking the indie inspector, the one that has their own website, the one that has decades of experience, the ones that want to invest in their partnership with their agents. If you don't have a relationship with an inspector that's outside of and I'm not saying don't work with Marigold or don't work with Inspecta Homes or don't work with the big groups, but I have relationships with every person I partner with in this industry. Could you also go to a lender? Could you also go to a title company? Absolutely. They want to market themselves. They want to provide you value. Leverage your relationships. Have someone else build your newsletter. And in my opinion, the reason why I pick an inspector, they know information about houses. And I'm talking maintenance tips and recommendations. You could send out 4 newsletters a year, because Lord knows we do not need monthly newsletters, but you can do it. I'm not saying don't, but I'm just simply saying you could have a spring maintenance tips, you could have a summer maintenance tips, a fall, a winter, right? It doesn't, you guys don't have to shoot for the moon. You just have to have something. Newsletters are a great resource. And all it is that repetitive experience. You want to take it up a notch? You send a newsletter that someone else created via email, 0 costs, and you send text messages to follow up and say, did you see you should clean your AC condenser before you turn it on for the season? Just want to make sure you caught that. Don't even have to say real estate or realtor or anything. Got it? Real easy, indirect, but providing value. Okay? No cards. You guys, snail mail is like from the land of the lost time, right? So do it because nobody else is. There is an agent in our office that has a license in another state that would like to continue to get business referrals. And this agent is amazing because this agent sends out note cards, birthday cards, home anniversary cards. And then let me just tell you, this agent did not help me buy my house, right? I bought my own house because I'm an agent. But I'm sent note cards. When I tell you that agent comes top of mind because I am literally inundated 3 to 4 things a year. That's it. That's what I'm getting from that agent. But man, that agent is top of mind for me if I need an agent in another state. Top of mind. It's so amazing. Now, I would argue that if that agent sent me 12 things, I'd be like, oh, take me off your list. Okay? You guys, the reality is my answer, like I don't know everything. I don't have the right cadence to suggest. But the reality is we should be doing something. Pick it and run with it. Birthday cards. I don't know about you, but that mailbox is pretty empty come June 15th every year. I get like 3, which is a lot more than probably a lot of people get, right? But birthday cards is a really great thing to do. If you know someone's birthday, sure, can you post something on Facebook? Yes. Does it evaporate into thin air immediately after receiving it on Facebook? Yes, it does. But when I get something in the mail, I'm like, wow, that was really nice. They wrote with a pen. I'm surprised we can still do that. I mean, seriously, there's like these things are true. Pick things that work that you will commit to doing. Yes, Joe.
So I sent out birthday cards too, and I'm still implementing the best system for it. And like what to write. But usually I try to, if I know the person pretty well, I try to write like a note in there about them specifically. But I put scratch offs in there because I got the idea from Lisa Sorbing, which is fantastic. Just really cheap scratch offs that
do $1 or $2.
Yeah, yep. And so one time I saw a post on social media and it was not a client yet, but it was a friend I sent the birthday card to. He posted about me sending him that birthday card, and he was like, if this kid ever needs anything, he's got it from me. This is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. And I was like, wow,
That's an example of the impact you're making.
yeah.
Because in the land of like automation and, you know, social media posts and comments and inundation, I can't even believe that some of these companies get away with like daily emails, like DSW, like, for example. I mean, I'm just picking on DSW. I don't even know that they actually do that because I've unfollowed and unsubscribed. But I'm like, seriously? I don't need shoes that bad. Like, why are you contacting me every day? Same thing with houses. Lord, a house every month. Like, we don't always need to be inundating people. But the point is, whatever you do, stick with it. Stick with it and keep it simple, come from value, and implement. And that was amazing. Rick's suggestions of what he's doing work. He doesn't pick up the phone, but if he does, I bet every phone call he makes is warm because he sent them something and is following up on it, right? And that's actually not cold calling, right? It's not. It's very different. When you know someone and you've sent them something of value and you're following up on it, or you're saying, I sent you an email. Did you see it? It doesn't look like it was open and it had some really valuable tips. If you did that once a year with everybody you know, do you think they might pay more attention to what you send them? Or you could even say, would you like me to decrease the frequency that I send you stuff? I just want to stay helpful and as a resource for you. Because I know that what we're all lacking these days is resources. Do you know what my number one shtick is? Once I sell a house for someone or they buy a house from me, I'm always available for you as a resource. I know plumbers, I know electricians, I know handy people, I know carpet cleaners, duct cleaners, roofers, HVAC technicians. And then what's funny is they'll call and they'll be like, oh, I did this project, and I'll go, I can't believe you didn't call me and get my recommendation. I worked so hard to have this list available for everybody, but it's my thing. I have a resource list. Guess what? You guys go on the group Facebook page and they're all listed there. That could be your list too. You don't have to have, and by the way, you should actually vet them. You shouldn't just put them on a list and hand them out. But the whole point of it is that you're coming from contribution. You could all send out one email a year to your database, and it could be your contractor list. Hey, if anyone's looking at, especially spring, right? Because we're all getting like cabin fever. It's going to start pretty soon if we keep getting this white stuff falling from the sky. Got some cabin fever. Cabin fever also is home renovation and home improvement project fever, right? Send out a list of recommended contractors in the area that you've had a conversation with, right? Something that gives them value, that reminds them you're in the industry and can help them. And if you've missed someone on the list, I don't know, purposely leave a plumber off. So they have to call you and ask for a plumber. Oh, bummer, I missed that. I mean, the whole idea is be playful. Nothing has to be perfect. What else do we have? Other ideas of what's working in the market? Anything working? What the last source of a client? No.
Social media, like I touched on, I think is really good because if you see that people are doing things and have like big events like weddings or whatever going on in their life, reaching out to them and just having a conversation. Especially if you haven't talked to them in a while, I think social media is a great resource. My most recent client was from that.
From social.
Reaching out saying, hey, congratulations on the wedding. Yeah, we're looking to buy a house soon. You might be helping us. Next thing you know, a week later, and we got an offer accepted like
That's awesome.
real quick.
You never know what's actually going to work, guys. So you can try lots of different things. I've gone through major life events, and I can't tell you how many times people comment on the post, but don't send me a private message. There is a huge, and that could be my age, okay, and who my peers are. I don't know every age and all the dynamics with all the social media trends for direct message use or not, but there is different impact to each level of communication, right? So if you send a private message, you're more likely to get someone to read it and engage with you and maybe even get a thumbs up or a thank you. Social media can be a great impact. For me, I am off social media. So if you guys are trying to reach me on Facebook, not there. And it's the greatest piece of my life. But you know what, you guys, I have text message, I have phone numbers for all the people I've ever worked with, like saved in my phone. And that's always been my thing, and I'm just gonna stick with it. Like I literally reach out to people, like if it's a Sunday night and I'm like decompressing before the start of the next week, I send like 25 or 30 text messages to people. Just checking in, one-on-one text messages. I don't use Twilio, I don't use any sort of a service, but I might just say something. And you guys, if I'm doing 25, that's once a week. It's not very many, but it's enough for people to know that they're top of mind. I might do that once a year for that person. And I literally it's so funny. I transfer phones like every couple of years. And I go in and I'm like, I need all my text messages transferred. And they're like, oh God, one of those. Okay. And they're like, why? And I was like, it's the source of my business. I need all the text messages that I've ever sent in all of history. And they're like, do you know how long it's going to take? I'm like, I have time. Worth a lot of money. Okay. So I don't erase text messages. I don't clear my phone. I have a gigantic mini computer. And yes, Samsung and Android products are better than Apple. It's not a point for debate. It's a computer. It's a terabyte. I've got plenty of room on there. So I keep everything on there and I scroll through old messages and I pull up something that I talked about last. And it's amazing. It just keeps the dialogue going. That is what works for me. It doesn't mean it's what will work for you, but it's a great option. There's lots of great options. Other ideas that you've contemplated that you want to discuss. Anything that you have questions about, you want to know if it works. You want to creative. You guys have time with me for the next 10 minutes. So how can I help you?
It's actually clarifying a lot of things that I've been trying to figure out in the past couple of weeks here. But the newsletter thing, I do newsletters and I do monthly newsletters. And some it does help, but as far as like reaching out or following up on that, I need to come up with a better follow-up tool.
Do you use Command or are they paper? Or
I do use Command.
Okay, so do you know that there's a back end of Command that you can read if they've opened them and clicked through them or not?
I just recently learned about that.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? When you figure it out, then you can teach a class on teaching other people how to do it because and I'm not saying tomorrow, I'm just saying when you get there, because guess what? If you have to teach a class on it, you're going to get real good real fast on how to do it, right? Not that you ever have to teach a class. The concept is challenge yourself to deep dive into something that you have started or that you want to do and explore it. Explore it. Dive deep. The other thing I was going to mention, because again, raise your hand. Start talking online if you have something. I just have all this stuff rolling around in my head. Like, just gonna keep coming out. Okay. The thing in Command where you send neighborhood updates. Do you know about it? You know about it? Neighborhood nurture. Neighborhood nurture. Do you know that? Do you know that you can send neighborhood nurture to anyone that has an email address and a neighborhood that you self-select? You can send it to anyone at any interval. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Raise your hand if you don't. Say something online. Okay, you don't know, Rick?
I do know.
You do know. Good. Neighborhood nurture sends neighborhood updates on any neighborhood that someone's interested in. Doesn't even have to be where they live. Right? And it sends them weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, yearly. You can set any interval you want. So if I wanted to know every 6 months what's happening in Great Oaks, it's a neighborhood in the area. You can do that. You can set it up. It's the easiest thing to actually call someone or send an email or send a text message and say, is there ever a neighborhood you'd like to be kept updated about? What's happening in real estate in that neighborhood? Even if it's just your dream neighborhood. It doesn't even have to be where you currently live or you want to live or ever anticipate living. Yeah.
Should you do the same thing for like a cabin?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could do something for like Prior Lake because I'm going to live on water someday. Like that's like that, putting it out in the universe. It's going to happen. Maybe not because it's kind of expensive and crazy taxes and the water's declining. So we'll see.
Alexa,
what?
I got a message this past week of friends in Virginia.
Yeah.
Who are getting the market update for their home in Virginia.
Yep.
And the reason I do that is because I love the 25% referral fees. that I get for referring realtors in other
Helping
states.
people find an agent in another state.
It's easy.
It's like the easiest job we could ever have, and we get paid thousands of dollars to do it. So anyone you know anywhere, I literally have everyone I went to college with and I connected in college a long time ago, and they live all over the US. And I reached out to them. I had an intentional marketing effort. And I said, can I have your email address? And just, I'd love to send you information about any neighborhood you want to know about. Any lake property, any resort property, Vail, Colorado. You want to know what's going on in Vail, Colorado, just for pure entertainment purposes? I'm happy to set you up. But my goodness gracious, is not the most amazing way to stay top of mind. And then once a year, just once a year to my out-of-state people, I send an email saying, if you ever need help sourcing an agent in any state, I can help you. All it says. Thanks, Alexis. That's it. It's all it says. It's awesome. Rick's totally right. We get $1,000 to $5,000 for that activity. And just let me tell you about referrals. You actually have to reach out to the agent, vet them, have a conversation, right? Like, what are they looking for? Are you the right fit? It's actually important to like put effort into the initiative that you're getting paid for. And neighborhood nurtures can be done anywhere. Yes, resort properties. And by the way, you can have multiple neighborhoods. You can look for Prior Lake and Brainerd Lakes and Lake Superior if you want. You can look at, you know, the Echo Park neighborhood and Vail at the same time. There's nothing limiting it. But what's really cool about it is you're not asking anyone for anything. And what are these people doing? The whole world goes on Zillow. It looks up properties on Zillow. You're creating a portal for them to look at you as Zillow instead of the agent of the day that is paying a lot of money to be advertised on there. It should be you. If anything that anyone should do is if you have a email address and a name and a neighborhood you just want to pick, put them in neighborhood nurture. You don't even really have to do anything else. And it's happening behind the scenes where it just reminds people like you're still around. And you guys, even though I'm coming up on 30 years, people actually contact me like, are you still in real estate? I'm like, no, I became a doctor. Where would I go? What would I do? There is no other place for me. Of course I'm still in real estate. So just because you join real estate, guess what? If you don't tell them that you're in real estate like once a year, they will literally not think you're in real estate anymore. It is a huge revolving door of people coming in and leaving. So you have to, that's the part of not being a secret agent. You guys could actually, jokingly, but I'm serious, send an email to everybody you know and be like, just a reminder, I'm still in real estate. I'm serious, you totally could. It could go over really well. You could literally do that. What you're sending and what you're producing for marketing and promotion does not have to be like brilliant and creative. I would have probably written things a little different for my database, sending on the Traeger grill thing. Someone else wrote it and I just used it all. It still worked. Even though I didn't necessarily think that's how I would have written it. It doesn't matter. Get your ego out of the way. Get your expectations for perfect out of the way. Really, just do it. Just fire. Ready, aim, fire, just fire. Stop worrying about the ready, aim. Just do the activities. Get out there, remind people, hey, just want to remind you, I'm in real estate. You don't even, hi, just wanted to remind you, I'm in real estate. Alexis. Can you imagine? People would be like, congrats. I mean, or just nothing, but guess what? They're gonna think of something about it. That's a short email. Have you guys seen these emails that get sent? What? That's the whole thing with like newsletters. Like you could send one article to your database and it's just as good as like 13 or like 3 houses for sale. You know what I mean? The point I'm here to challenge. Just doing it is always going to be better than overthinking it or making it perfect. Always. Taking action is going to get more results than waiting to make it perfect. Or waiting until, I don't know, insert the item. Comments, questions, anything else that anyone wants to talk about? Need my help with?
Do you think, because there's an agent in this office that meets with clients or just reaches out to people, goes to coffee with them just to chat,
Yeah.
just to build that relationship. Do you see that as a like something that could be scalable, or do you think it is kind of difficult with the amount of time that we have?
So the concept is meeting with people to build relationships and develop more business opportunities. If that's the one thing that that person focuses on and sets aside time and really time blocks, I think it can be very scalable and successful. And I even argue that it could turn into a networking group if you really did it the right way, if you had enough interest and there was enough fun conversation where it's like you're meeting with people and they're telling you about, I don't know, you have 3 people starting businesses. And you're like, why don't the 4 of us get together and talk about starting a business where you're the medium to bring more people together? I'm a networker, so I love putting people together. I actually got a text message this morning from someone I worked with like 15 years ago asking me to help them find a job. It's like a super normal thing for me to receive. Because I literally tell people I'm like really well networked. I know a lot of people in a lot of industries, obviously because of real estate, but also because I've worked in corporate for over 10 years. I've got a lot of relationships all over the place. But the point is I like to connect people. I love going to coffee or lunch with people I really like because I'm an introvert. So it's not everybody. But I do know people that are extroverts that would say, I have 30 minutes. Can I take you for a cup of coffee? I just want to hear how you're doing. And it does work. Because what it does is it forms stronger relationships. It develops the relationship and it increases the depth of the relationship. And so again, that person does not do open houses. That person does not cold call. They rely on the people they know. They love on the people they know. And again, if you receive, so one last thing, one closing thought. If any of you have ever received a referral from anybody, they need to be your AAA top, most important people. And they need to be put into like an I love you bucket, and you need to love on them constantly because not everybody in this world is hard programmed to give referrals. How many of you in this room give referrals from experiences you've had? Raise your hand. You give referrals, and some of you haven't, right? I'm expecting that some of you haven't. Not everyone is pre-programmed to think about giving referrals. I have people that I'm like, they're on the 13th one. I'm like, I love you so much. I'm gonna send you flowers. I'm gonna send you to dinner, and I appreciate you so much. You have to love on the people that give you referrals because those are the people that are connecting you. They find value in you, and you love on those people the most. And it should be a separate category for how you market. It should be a separate group of people and how you market to them. If anyone has ever suggested your name, ever, you love on those people. And how you do it, I don't know. We're not going to cover it right now, but you figure out a way and you talk to your coach and you talk to a peer and you figure out what works for you. How do you want to nurture on them? And you take them for coffee, you send them flowers and you don't write it off. You just do nice things for them because you want them to know how much you appreciate it. You send them a really long letter, a handwritten note, telling them how much they changed your life. They put food on your table and kept the roof over your head, and it means the world to you. Can you imagine if you got a letter like that from someone? You put food on my table and kept the roof over my family's head. Thank you. Right? The people that give referrals should be loved on the most. And if they've given one, they will give more. Unless you do something to stop earning it. Please don't do that. Thoughts, ideas, help, assistance. I've got lots more topics coming up in each month that we have this. If there's something that you guys are looking for or want, the reason I'm in the broker role is because I have way more information than I can ever utilize on any one transaction. So I love sharing and giving it back to all of you, okay? Yes, I'm here for your questions as a broker to help you get out of trouble, stop being scared, because there's nothing to be scared about. So if you have something that you'd like to learn more about, like for example, I know this is really silly, but how to give effective feedback. Oh gosh, I'd love to teach a class on how to give effective feedback. I feel like nobody knows how to do it. Nobody does it. And it's one of the greatest tools. And as we continue to move into the more balanced market, we need more agents that are better equipped at giving effective feedback. And it isn't necessarily helping you, but when you become a listing agent on a property, you're going to appreciate having effective feedback. Okay, it's huge. It's a huge, huge, huge thing. And I probably could put it on the calendar and no one would come because they're like, I don't need help with writing feedback. But seriously, it's a great concept. There's so much we can all do to raise the bar on our craft. And I don't know. I could keep going, but I'm going to stop. So, all right, thanks for joining, everyone. I'll see you next month. I can't wait for the next Nexus. And if there's anything in the interim, you can send emails or text messages. Let me know what you want, and then we can tailor it to what you're looking for, okay?
Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Alexis.